I didn't really get that sense. I thought that Chaos and Cosmos' relationship made sense. Like Chaos just kind of looked at her and was like, "You look really familiar, and I know who you are." And that kind of goes back around in the end because he knew Mary, and because he's Jesus. He's Jesus, you guys. Like, I'm not even joking. He's like literally Jesus. I mean, there's the figurehead Jesus, and then there's Chaos, and there's Mary. And Chaos is his real power. Yeah. So he's Jesus in space. Cosmos seems familiar to him, and that's about it. Cosmos is familiar to him, and they hint at that. And I thought that lined up pretty well with what happened at the end. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. It was kind of, Jesus, booty shorts, Jesus, and the bulge. I'm sorry. Most of its significance is not revealed until late game, so that's kind of a thing.
That's also the highest pitched character.
Gene! Rocking reference to Shitabuzuki.
Especially in the third game.
My friend Kat once called him, I don't know if any of you know, are in on the Xenosaga Online. Do you know Catamus Prime? She's beautiful. She once called him Shitan Uzuki's stoner brother. I'm like, that's pretty much it. Shitan's older brother, all that. He's probably made out to be a little too angelic, I think. He's kind of surprised. He's got a little bit of Shitan asshole in him. Not quite that much, not that much. But he's kind of a jerk sometimes. But he has a long history, doesn't he? Margulis. Him and Margulis basically just wave their boners around at each other, and that's about it. It's horrible. Yeah, it's a really good fight scene. It really is. I really enjoyed that one. It's just Annie enough to be Margulis gets the scar from Jean, and that's important. It's all intense, and Margulis up on the rooftop, being all dramatic. Yeah, he has connections to a few of the antagonists who share military service. So Pellegrini too. Pellegrini, God bless Pellegrini. And him and Shion are kind of they do like each other. They're good brothers and sisters.
But Shion's
No, but
Even
Jean Shion's towards Jean, but rightfully so, because Jean kind of treats her pretty badly.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's Jean's oh, I want to have a relationship with my sister. I want us to be, good brothers and sisters. But it's he does that. He goes about it in such a bad way, and he doesn't even realize it. He realizes it, but afterwards, he'll say something, and then he's thinks it's fine at the time, and then he goes wait, Chaos, that was bad, wasn't it? And that's his thing, is that they just don't, they both care about each other, but they both just can't communicate that. He figures it out by the end, and that's really sad because that's also, plug ears if you don't want spoilers! Plug ears if you don't want spoilers! That's right before Jean dies. Alright, spoilers done. Drop that spoiler bomb. So I think they have a really interesting relationship, and I can relate a lot to it with my dad, although my dad's actually kind of more of an asshole than Jean is. Oh God, okay, I'm not going to bring my own daddy issues into this. Alright, I have a lot of daddy issues. Alright, that covers the Bible characters then. So, I love this picture so much. It's like a Tales of Symphonia ending thing. That's all pose. Yeah, I don't know. I love Shion's battle pose. I just need to say that. Playable characters. Alright, now, Alyssa, do you want to do the honors?
Starting with Guinan Kukai.
Thank you. Starting with Guinan Kukai. It me.
Thank you. My dear son.
Oh my god. Where do I even start with Guinan? Let me just... That's how I feel.
He's the last of mine.
He's the sweet, innocent one who gets nothing in life, though he deserves everything.
Not sorry.
He exploded a man's hand over space.
You're on slide and you can't say
I'm on my own side, I can't say anything, I'm overwhelmed with emotion. He's basically just really adorable. Obviously, a lot of people talk about this. I think it's really great because in episode 1, it's oh, he's the normal one of the URTVs. He doesn't have an incestuous twin. He seems to be the one with the least number of problems. And then episode 2 rolls around and it's oh, never mind, he has the biggest problem. And that biggest problem is, his dad takes over his body and does terrible things, and it's just generally awful. I call him my sweet little kid. He was literally named after a cat. Friendly reminder. I just really like Diane. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, his story's just really sad and everything. I don't know. When the Grief Lets You Go is like just the most painful song in existence, and I'm not saying goodbye. Let's play the games together sometime.
Don't cry in the middle of the panel now.
Alright, yeah, I'm sorry. Alright, I should move on before I just like sit here and
You
just...
can't talk about Guy now.
I can't talk about Guy No Time. There's our incestuous story! Yeah, here we go. I hope you all can stomach some incest. He's essentially...
Brother a lot.
He likes his brother a lot. A lot. He likes his brother a lot. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these things. For everyone who is new though, and I really want to point this out just because you guys are new, and I know it's kind of a thing that most everyone should already know, but if you have triggers, be really careful about Albedo, because he does a lot of really nasty things that can easily warrant an M, and that's why Xenosaga got like censored to all hell in the English version. Because Albedo is basically mostly because Albedo is terrible. Yes?
The main reason it got a T rating for the States is because of a lot of the scenes they especially the Momo scene.
The Mabel scene. We're not going to talk about Mabel. But are you raising your hand?
Yeah, wasn't he the reason that it didn't get transferred to Europe? Like the game didn't get released?
Really? Is that it? I did not hear that.
That's all right.
They released the second
Yeah.
I could have seen with Albedo were like cut.
He's not a character. You don't need this guy. He's not a partner.
That's incredible, and I can totally see that. There is like nothing about Albedo that isn't offensive. That's kind of his point though, and that's why I kind of get nervous when people are like, he's so hot and insane, and I'm like, whoa.
His insanity.
Whoa. His insanity is, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, go ahead.
He's not actually just like...
He's not just like cruel, he's not just
actually
cruel.
insane. He just babbles nonsense.
Yeah, he's just like stringing quotes together and just being like, you know, that's what he said when he coughed up his lifeblood.
I remember the first time I noticed his chair wasn't a chair, and I was like,
Oh, God.
what the hell?
Did you
is
see
he
that
sitting on?
there's two babies with connected backs behind it, and the first time I noticed that, I just like kind of walked out. I was
Like everything in his room is just terrifying.
With the Kirschwassers, and I love the Kirschwassers, and I feel so bad for them. And they have a really, the DS game actually explains why they follow him, and it's really interesting, and I really like that, and it's... The Kirschwassers are actually, believe it or not, another really good feminist part, because especially Shion's whole thing where she's like, you know, those girls have free will and you have no right to treat them as toys. That whole part was like, I was all over that. I like feminism. But Albedo is important. I'll just say that. He's essentially an antagonist, but actually in episode 3, you know, he's actually really chill in episode 3. Other than being like, he's really mean to Guinan, but he's really mean to everyone, so he's always mean to Guinan. He's just a mean guy.
He's covered his floor with like robots.
Yeah.
Robot children.
Robot children. He just murders robot children for fun.
You mentioned that the DS game like explained why they follow him. Like, what did it tell us about that?
Oh yeah, do we wanna? It's because the Kirschwassers felt like useless and disconnected because of the 100 series in Momo. So they kind of touched on that in episode 1, but they fully make that connection in the DS game. And because Albedo kind of felt that way, because like he was scared of being separated from Rubido mostly, and also Nigredo at first, but he kind of got meaner about that as the time went on. But you know, like he had that same feeling of like I'm going to be all alone and like that abandonment. Also because Rubido abandoned him when he cut the link, so he had that same feeling as the Kirschwassers, and the Kirschwassers saw that in him, and they had nowhere else to go because they found the first one found him during the Milsham conflict. They were the ones that found him when he was like. They were the ones who rescued him at the song, right? Is that the song?
Yeah, it was at the song. It also explains what happened between Albedo and Nigredo.
Yeah, their fight. Their fight. Yeah, which was actually just Nigredo trying, because Nigredo obviously knows he can't kill him, so he was just trying to hold him off so he wouldn't touch Rubido. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Babago. This is getting creepy. Oh God! And then there's this asshole. All right, Jenna, you go. You go, Jenna. I'm just gonna turn this over her.
I'm gonna be unable to speak. Yeah, he is an asshole, but I mean, he's a really interesting antagonist because the reason why he does all of the things he does, I mean, he's a really interesting reason because he's doing everything he does out of fear of, well, basically God.
Well, God.
Yes, God. God is very terrible.
Space God. Space God.
Space God didn't mean it.
Space God is not really so much a god, but.
Can I explain his backstory?
Okay, shortly. Don't get carried away. Don't get carried away, Jenna.
About 300 years ago, they were during the first stage of the UMN. He was a test subject for the
organic
transfer experiment.
Does everybody know all this? I hope she's not just like, yeah, we're good. Jenna's just very attached to this. She really likes Uriel. Like,
just a little bit.
it's scary.
Very important.
She likes Zora a lot too.
Zora?
You want to talk about Zora? Anyone remember Zora from High Piper?
The hot android secretary.
The hot android secretary who is probably an assassin.
She has like 2 scenes.
She has 2 scenes, but she talks back at him and it's beautiful. She's just like, you're trash. And you're just like, I'm not trash. And she's like, calm down. And that's beautiful. Alright. I'm gonna move on. Because otherwise you're just gonna go on. Oh yes, Alan is great. I don't know, what do we want to say about Alan? Alan's so plain. He's so plain and normal. He's a normal guy who doesn't want to be involved in any of this. Be a man, Alan. I thought you were a man. Shut up and shoot something. My favorite line. He's basically, he's in it for the Shion. If you told him to cross like a busy street and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. If you said Shion's on the other side, you'd be like, okay, I'll go. But he's actually not really creepy about it. He's all like, senpai notice me, basically. It's kind of cute. It's endearing. Bobby really likes Alan, but that's another story. He gets a lot of character development. He's actually really like racist and kind of gross in episode 1, and then he's actually really calm and sweet by episode 3. He's really chilled out. I don't know. He's a good guy. We like Alan. He has his moment of badassery. So it's important. When he shoots down the noses at the end of the game, it's great. And beats it up with the gun. yeah, thank you. Go, Alan. You go. The Xenosaga! They are so slimy, but they're actually good people. They are so slimy. Under a thick layer of slime and debt. They owe money to me. But I'm kind. I'll give them more time.
You don't have very much time left.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Jenna. Oh no. That didn't make me cry. Oh no, Chaos actually met them while playing poker, which I feel like is important to
This
say.
is explained and there's the outer files.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a thing about the outer files soon, so. I'm like, I want to cover everything, but I'm like, oh god, we're at 3:30. Okay, alright.
Our favorite
religious crazies. With their crotch shorts. What's up with that? Alright, what is going on here? Why this? Orgula has one too, though. Cardinal Heinlein! I want to talk about that, but there are children. There are Xeno children, so I can't talk about Heinlein. Damn. But I was kind of going and being prepared not to talk.